Right, so our next topic, I've been wanting to speak about this for a while, but I wanted to let it play out. But basically, it's IATSE, IATSE, the union for the American production end of the film industry. They have now averted a strike by striking a deal with the producers and studio heads for better working conditions and more pay and blah, 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 blah. So, Hollywood is basically relieved because this would have meant that all the films that are getting shot now, their post-production would have been halted. Which means we basically wouldn't get to see any of these films until this strike was sorted out. And they actually voted to strike, I think, last week. Mm-hmm. So they had literally, when they made the deal, there was literally 24 hours left before the strike started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's supposed to like 12 o'clock today, wasn't
it? Yeah. So
they went to the wire.
Basically, they kind of strong-armed the production companies because, at the end of the day, we've got to remember that COVID obviously has taken place. The studios have taken a massive hit. They can't afford for these films to be delayed any more than they are. Do you know what I mean? So they kind of had them in a barrel, you know what I mean? Like it's But at the same time, I think everyone can understand. As actors, we know behind the scenes what's going on. Their conditions are a little bit draconian. I mean, it's 12-hour shifts.
12-hour shift.
Well, it's not even 12 hours. It's more like
shift.
13, 14 hours. Not taking into consideration the time it takes to travel from home to work and work home.
Yeah. And
they're having to start really early in the morning. And then also the turnaround time for the weekends as well. They did deserve much better conditions, which I'm glad they now have.
Do we know the specifics or not?
Well, there's a report. Let's see here.
I know one of the main ones is on hours, so the hours got cut from 12 to 10.
Yes, that's right.
Hours. And there's like a working weekend. If it's 56 hours, that has to be from the close of filming on the Friday.
Well, I got a Hollywood Reporter article here, but it also talks about how this impacts the unions in Europe. Because apparently the British unions and the German unions, that's right, they are now also looking to strike because they want better conditions as well.
I think it's only right.
Yeah. So, like I said, this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and I won't read all of it. I'll just read the main parts. The tentative free-deal film and TV deal agreed upon between the studios and IATSE, the union representing the below-the-line entertainment workers, still has to be ratified by union members. With major labour negotiations heating up in the UK, where below-the-line workers union BEC2 are hammering out a new TV deal with British producers, PACT, and in Germany, as the main actors union BFFS finalises details of an overall agreement with the production companies representing the country's largest film and TV producers. The IATSE deal with the Alliance of Motion Picture and TV Producers is being seen as a real leap forward. That's what I'm going to read of it because it gets quite boring. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. So basically, they got what they wanted. We as actors are glad that they got what they wanted. Let me put it to you, Leon. How do you feel about them averting a strike and getting the deal that they wanted?
I can't be sad. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because they're the unsung heroes, and they do so much, and they work so hard, and they're not pampered, and they're not looked after.
Yeah.
So it's only right.
That's an understatement.
But
you're right. 100%.
I've been on set.
Yeah.
And I've seen that one guy that I know he's just getting pittance, and he is like the key to it all.
Yeah.
Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you get that for him? Can you do? And it's up, down, T, this, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they deserve it. They deserve it. And you know, someone's making all the money. Share the money.
Yeah.
Share the wealth.
100%.
Like, share it, and then everyone's happy. Like, I just don't. I'll never understand that. You're making enough money. To be able to spread the wealth. Amongst everyone's important. So whether you're Robert Patterson or whether you're the guy that gets tea, everyone is integral.
100%.
So yeah. And if it needs to happen here.
No, 100%.
It needs to happen here.
And I think it will. I think, obviously the British unions and European unions are not as powerful as the American unions.
No.
So that there's that. Yeah. But I think if because the good thing about the American unions was there was solidarity between all. So even the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA came out and supported them. Everyone came out and supported them.
Yeah.
So basically, and even it was said in that same report that even the British and German arms were told to support them, so that if they do strike, and then they're going to ask the British lot to take over, that they shouldn't take over. So hopefully that will be reciprocated when the British and the German unions go for their deal. You hearing that, Damien? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I kind of echo what Leon's saying. I mean, it's about time that everyone behind the scenes is looked after in the same way. I mean, when you're looking at films that shoot for 3 months at a time, some days are looking at working 7-day weeks for up to a month, and you've got your grip literally on set before anyone else getting stuff set up. Probably one of the last ones to leave set, and they don't get a thank you most of the time. They're lucky if most actors of a certain caliber even say hello to them or good morning to them when they walk in, because they're too much within themselves. Not to speak badly of pissy actors, but that's another subject.
Mainly of them.
But the problem I have with it is, how long is this actually gonna stay as a pact? Like, is this gonna be something they can't come out of in a few years' time?
Well, they did say that it was a 3-year deal.
Right. Okay. Because that's when they review it. They say, right, okay, how much money are we losing here? Because the thing that is going to affect it, like big tentpole movies, it's not going to affect the bottom line that much, because effectively you're going to lose 10, like with a 10-hour workday. If you're switching it down from 7 days a week to 5 days a week, and you're doing 10 hours as opposed to 12 hours, essentially with a working week, you're going to lose 10 hours Monday to Friday plus the additional 24 on the weekend. So you're going to have to make up probably a few weeks shoot time. That's going to be a bargaining chip that has to be married up there. But when it comes to the whole issue of, is the money going in the right place, I'm all for that. Like, I think it's a big thing to do. Will it affect independent movies? Unfortunately, it has
a lot.
That
I didn't even think of that.
That's the sticking point.
That's the sticking point, because independent film, as I've just finished one. Larry's been on, Leon, I'm assuming.
I've been in.
Like, it's, you work every hour under the sun to get that made, because you're working on most of the time zero budget. So like, you're literally, I've done film shoots where you're sleeping in a car, you're sleeping in a bathroom, it's dilapidated in the night, and you're getting 2 hours sleep to get up and do an 18-hour quick run. And you're eating cornflakes out of a little 99 box.
We've done a couple of those together.
And you're lucky if you know your lines before you shoot, because you're too busy helping the camera guy, too busy setting up the camera guy, too busy running back and forth. I made sandwiches for the last film I was on for the entire 2 weeks. I was helping out as much as I could with help.
Are you going to get credit for that as well?
I'm asking for credit. I want my sandwich credit, I want my makeup credit, my special credit, my choreography credit. I mentioned 19 times. But because you all have to come together, and that's just part and parcel of it. So will it affect independent movies? Unfortunately, I think yes. I don't think it's going to be for the better for independent movies. For big films, where, as Leon was rightly saying, they've got the budget to spread around, and the money should be passed down, trickle down the right way. It's about time. It is definitely about time.
My thoughts are, I think it's fantastic that, like you said, a 10-hour working week. They've also extended the weekend to 54 hours. So you have to have 54 hours between the Friday and the Monday coming in. So that's a big deal. People don't get to spend time with their families and stuff. I think that's a really big deal. Obviously, I think they've negotiated more money. I don't know how much exactly, but that's really good as well.
And they've said that if it's 2 weekends, they have to have 2 consecutive days off. every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
or a 40-day shoot.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're giving the crew time to be with the family at the weekend.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly,
which,
which is all important, you know. That you guys both touched on what my concerns were, which was the independent side of things. Obviously, we've all worked on independent stuff. As you said, the budgets. Sometimes the budgets are okay to get things done, but they're never at the extraordinary amount as big studio tentpole movies are.
No.
So it's still, even with a decent budget, it's still a race against time to make sure that budget counts. And with that being said, this is not going to benefit an independent production. I kind of feel though, and we had this discussion before we started filming. I don't know if you heard it, but my thing is, a way to avoid it affecting independent films is to do similar to what SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Union in America, do. So basically, they say that actors should be paid a certain amount for certain productions. So they say if you're doing a micro budget thing below 2 million or whatever, you get paid this much.
Yeah.
This is your minimum.
Yeah.
If you get paid, if your budget is like 10 to 50 mil, your minimum is this much.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And I think like if they kind of made the deal in that respect, then it will probably help independent cinema, because then it will take into account the budget that they're working with. So maybe I from what I hear, that wasn't part of the deal, but then maybe in the 3 years after the 3 years and they review it, hopefully they can maybe add that in when they see that it is affecting the independent productions and stuff. So I'm all for it. I think it's fantastic. But like as you guys said, I do really hope that it doesn't affect too much the independent productions, because they are the lifeblood of actors, basically. You know, most of us do not get to be in tentpole movies, and if we do, most of us are not getting big parts in tentpole movies. So
at present, we will at present.
Yeah. Well, I've got a little, but you know, we rely on these independent films, so to raise our profile and to do, you know, to show our work to various people. So. Yeah, with that being said, what are your thoughts? I mean, this has been an ongoing thing for a long time. So what do you think about the deal? What do you think about them averting the strike? Are you excited about that? Because it could have meant that you guys are not seeing certain films, you know, for a long time. So kind of worked in your favor. Drop us some comments down below and let us know what you think.
Or do you care?
Always with that.
I want to know people don't care, so I just know.
Well, I'm quite sure they care, otherwise they wouldn't be watching.
Yeah. If you don't care, I want to know.
Okay,
for me. Let me know.
Okay, let him know if you care or not. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't.